Let's start with a question. What if the respect you get from everyone around you is actually won or lost on a battlefield that nobody else can even see? We're about to dig into a really intense idea, that your own mind is a war zone, and if you can master your internal dialogue, you can project undeniable authority.
And there you have it, right out of the gate. The source material for this does not mess around. This isn't about some gentle self-improvement journey. No, this is framed as a non-negotiable war for your own power. The core idea is simple, and it's brutal. Your inner state is your destiny.
So, that brings us to the central battlefield itself. The whole argument here is that your mind is the primary war zone. Every single thought you have is like a soldier, and it's either fighting for you or fighting against you in this battle for respect.
Now, here's the part that's a total game changer. Your thoughts are not secret. They leak out. They are broadcast to the world through your posture, the tone of your voice, your eye contact, or, your lack of it. That internal monologue you've got running on a loop, it becomes the external reality that everybody else sees.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. You've got two armies clashing inside your head. On one side, you have the enemy forces, doubt, victimhood, that constant self-criticism. And on the other side, those are your elite troops, authority, precision, and dominance. The entire strategy is to completely wipe out that first army so you can unleash the power of the second.
Okay, so it's one thing to have these warring thoughts, but how do they actually, sabotage you in the real world? This next part is where the theory gets super practical and honestly a little brutal.
The source material calls this the cognitive trap, and man, is it a vicious cycle. It works like this. You think a weak thought, which makes you perform a weak action, and then you get a weak results, which, of course, just reinforces that original weak thought. It's a perfect, self-perpetuating cycle of defeat. And look, this breaks it down step by step. It all starts with the internal thought, I am unworthy. That thought then physically manifests. You get the slumped shoulders, the shaky, hesitant voice. And the final crushing step? The world just reflects that signal right back at you. You are treated as unworthy because that's the signal you were broadcasting. So to make this really concrete, the source gives us an example of a guy named Aaron, a crew chief. Inside his own head, he believed he wasn't a leader. And what happened? He acted like it. He mumbled, he wouldn't make eye contact, and the outcome was totally predictable. His own team ignored him. He was stuck deep inside that trap. And then you see the transformation by completely reprogramming his internal commands. And we're going to get to exactly how he did that in just a second. His entire physical presence shifted. He stood taller, he spoke with clarity, and his team's response was immediate. They started to follow him. It's the exact same person, just broadcasting a completely different signal. So if your mind is basically running on software designed for defeat, how do you rewrite the code? This section is all about the how-to, the actual mechanics of reprogramming your brain for command. And the source is really, really clear on this. This is not wishful thinking. It's not magic. It's a mechanical process called neural rewiring. Think of it like a plow carving a new path in a field. You are consciously and with force creating new, powerful thoughts right on top of the old, weak ones. And you're physically creating new pathways in your brain. And just look at how direct these replacements are. This is about surgically swapping out the language of uncertainty for the language of command. I hope becomes I decree. I'm trying is replaced with I execute. The argument is that these aren't just words. They are literal commands that reprogram your entire nervous system. This right here, this puts the entire philosophy in the clearest possible terms. It's almost presented like a law of physics. The signal you broadcast is the signal the world gives you back. A weak, staticky signal gets ignored. A clear, powerful one commands attention. End of story. So how do you actually put all this into practice? This final section is the battle plan. This is your toolkit. These are the weapons you need to execute what the source calls self-talk warfare. Here they are, the 5 core weapons in your arsenal. And it's a very systematic approach. You start with a thought audit to identify the enemy. Then you use the command reframe to neutralize them. You build evidence of your strength with a victory log, you use an affirmation anchor for high-stress moments, and you practice with a self-talk script until this whole process becomes automatic. Now, the crucial thing to get here is that this is not just a random list of tips. It's a complete system.
Each drill has a specific, almost military purpose, from reconnaissance with the audit all the way to mission rehearsal with the script. It's a full-on training program for your mind.
So, mastering your internal dialogue, that's the foundational battle. But once you've established command over your own mind, the source suggests there's a whole other level. It's not just about defeating fear, but about turning that fear into pure fuel. And that is a powerful question to leave you with.